Hey guys, Blue25
and Arch9234.
With episode 149 main review. Today we have the Power Rangers Ninja Storm, the Storm Megazord, aka the Senpujin from Nippo Sensei Hurricane Jazz. So now we have the first Zord of the Storm Megazord, the Ego. Now this is mainly much just like a little small Ego. It really doesn't do much. You can move the neck up and down. The wings you can do many different like possibilities like this, or you want to have it down like this, whatnot. The tail just does this, but you know, you see the little cannons on the back, you know, because it flies and it boosts up. Other than that, it really doesn't do much, and it's really small, which kind of makes me kind of irked about it.
The only way to actually properly stand it on the floor is to have the wings positioned in a kind of a Z formation so that it balances on them.
So now we have Tori's Dolphin. Now this is the blue one. Now it does come with a stand, so you can roll around because there is actually no wheels on the Dolphin itself. But in order for you to do that, you have to actually have the clips out so you can connect it to the little black thing and roll it around. Now the Dolphin, there's no mouth, sadly. You can't really do anything with it. You can move the tail up and down a bit, just not much, because you can also move the head around when you extend it out, but this is how much it would be. You can spin the little wheel that it has on the side, and here's where the cockpit would be. It's an interesting gimmick to see, but it also doesn't do much as well, so it's kind of a eh. So now we have the Lion Zord Yellow. Now the Lion is actually the biggest because it makes up majority of the whole Megazord itself. Now the tail that we don't have is actually stuck in the back and is actually used as a ripcord, so you'll put it in here.
And then it would spin the main.
And it will spin the main and do the attack like it does in the show, where you know it kind of does a little blizzard-ish kind of thing on it. It's cool. You can't really move the legs that much. It's only for the formation. You can't even move the back and forth. This one you only can move it a bit like this. And the mouth does open and close, so it's really cool to see that. It's also one of the heaviest. It's actually really heavy because, like I said before, it forms the main body of the whole Megazord.
And it has most of the die-cast parts, basically.
So now we have the Storm Megazord. This is a combination of all three of the Zords now, and mainly much, it's just, the whole body is mainly much just yellow. Posability wise, just the arms. The arms can move up and down, that's it. You can't move the head, you can't move the legs like all the Zords are, you can't move anything.
You could kind of twist the torso a little bit just because the transformation allows, but other than that, that's it.
The interesting thing about the Ninja Storm line is that you actually can hold the weapons inside one of the Megazords. Just like the Power Spear number 1, you just open up the two clips.
On the back, there's actually a special button that helps you push the ball out.
So Power Spear number 1 is included in the Megazord, and when you take it out, it's the Serpent Sword. Now, yes, you can hold it on any hand you wanted to, but the main one, of course, is to hold it in blue. Now, you can actually have other weapons holding it, like, say, you can have it holding on yellow, you can have other weapons that they use. The downside is that you only can hold one Power Sphere inside the Megazord.
You can hold the Power Sphere in any mode, Dorai Senpujin mode, Tenrai Senpujin mode, Animal mode, whatever. You can store at least one in line all the time.
Now the downsides to the Ninja Storm and the Sentai line is that the pins do break very easily. The Dolphin Zord is actually the most easiest one to break because You have to rotate the tail, and sometimes if you're not be careful, you can actually break the tail. I've actually had that before. Also, I must warn you guys, when you do this mode, you can't actually snap your fingers onto these when you combine them, because in order for you to combine it, you have to press a little button, and it lowers the legs and then raises it up. I highly suggest you guys be careful, because you can actually snap your finger in it, and it does pretty hurt, especially if it's plastic or die cast, whichever version it is. Alteration-wise, from the American version to the Japanese version, there were a lot of changes they made to the American version. The first version notice, of course, is that we actually lost majority of all the die-cast. There's pretty much almost no die-cast in the Zord at all.
There's die-cast on the connectors for the back piece, the die-cast on the joints of the lion, the Hawk Sword tail. The legs are all die-cast. All this has been converted into regular gray plastic.
Now we also miss a lot of paint jobs too. The back of the Lion Zord, the whole little spinning main feature, in the American version it was actually just yellow. Well, they painted the front but not the back. For blue, we actually changed the chrome. There was actually no chrome in it. We actually didn't paint the other half of blue on the bottom right here.
This is a die-cast part, so they changed it to plastic.
The outlining for blue also for the cockpit is also not painted. The chrome here on the edge is crept, but the little hooks that you open to open the power sphere, they're actually painted yellow.
And the pin on the bottom that makes it rotate and left just yellow. Also, this was changed to gray instead of retaining at least a yellow paint. Another change is that they actually added 2 red markers to the actual buttons to make it a little bit easier for you to understand that these are buttons. The gray paint around the connecting joints has been just left yellow, blank. All 4 lion claws lost their yellow paint. The inside leg vents were not painted. The Dolphin's dorsal fin is missing its gray paint strip. The back half of the power sphere lost its speckle pattern. The Hawk Sword cockpit lost its silver strips. The entire lion mane is missing the gold rim paint. The yellow paint on the Serpent Sword was removed. The only die-cast part that was kept is the Hawk Sword Megazord face. The booster engines on the Lion lost their chrome. The underside of the Serpent Sword wings weren't painted.
Also, another change was that the Lion's mouth was actually not painted inside. We did have the whole teeth and whatnot, but the inside was black. In ours, we never painted at all.
And his gray cheek parts are not painted either.
The 2 little triangles in between the Lion mane where you spin when you have the whipcord and you spin it, is actually not painted. They just kept it there.
And the speckle pattern on the Dolphin Zord and green dome on the Serpent Sword was kept.
Overall, the line is okay. I just don't like the fact that there's not much you can do with the Storm Megazord in general, because the line makes up majority of the whole Megazord itself, while the blue and red are just like the head and the hand. The movability is okay, but like standard Megazord, it doesn't really do much. It's a decent thing for display, but for the Japanese version, the Sentai line, the diecast was a good thing, but the bad part is that we had plastic clips, so they will break very, very easily on to these Zords. So
either version, if you get the Japanese version or the US one, it's still going to break the exact same way.
You can combine also the Japanese version and the American version. It doesn't matter which one you choose. But yeah, that's it for our review of the Storm Megazord. Join us next time for the Thunder Power Megazord. Rate, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. You also can spin the main still with the whipcord, just like what they did in the show, where they have it one time they use a blizzard attack and it just throws out blizzard. You can still do that effect with the Megazord. Because the whipcord thing is right here, so you can just do it and whatnot with it.
And the Megazord can also hold the ripcord in its hand. The most common pins that usually break on the Storm Megazord are the connectors for both arms, the front connectors to hold the Dolphin in place, the connectors that form for the Gorai Senpujin mode. Those usually commonly break.
Hey guys, I'm Blue25.
And Archer 9234.
What up?
My mouth is dry. My mouth is dry.
It's for the formation. Seriously?
It's rusted. That's why it's rusted.
You can move it back and forth, up and down, like the Dolphin, like this. Alteration-wise, from the.
But that's the reason why I had it split up.
But yeah, that's it for our review of the Storm Megazord. Join us next time for the Thunder Power Megazord.